All right, so this is gonna be a podcast with One Up Gym. We're gonna tentatively call it Caffeine, Carbs, and Kilos. It's gonna be centered around the gym, around training, but I think primarily we might just kind of conversate and mess around a little bit. Might have a couple after dark episodes. We might bring a little bit of alcohol into the situation and
hmm
see where it leads us. Maybe some guests here and there, kind of play around with it, and we'll get better at it as we go. So I guess for sorry, I guess we can just talk about our week for now because we don't have really any real topics. So
Right,
I can
not
talk
really
about
today.
what I did today, or you can talk about your track meet that you went to.
Oh geez, yeah. My track meet yesterday with the kids. I
Yeah,
coach I coach track at North, so I've coached pole vaulters. I've pole vaulted in college, so it's been fun coaching them. But JV State, they called it yesterday, JV State,
uh-huh.
and one of the teams brought their varsity girls that are probably going to win state on varsity, so that kind of pissed me off. But
Yeah. Oh,
um,
just to interrupt real quick. I don't know if everyone knows who I am. I don't know if everyone's ever met you or
oh,
like knows
true.
who really you are.
Yeah, I'm kind of a ghost. I'm on the behind the scenes. So my name's Skylar Peterson. I do a lot of the social media, kind of help Josh out with campaigns or different events that we have rolling around. So I'm going to be a lot more present. I graduate in May, so on the 20th. So
Yeah,
be helping out a
that's
lot
getting
more.
closer.
Yeah, hopefully you'll see my face around a lot more. But yeah, right now I'm just going to school and coaching track at Norris and doing a few things here. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess what are we working on with social? We're amping it up, huh?
Yeah, we're trying to get a lot more going. This podcast is going to be, I think, a bigger one, so we can pull a lot of shorts from it, a lot of clips, especially when we start getting guests with a little more interesting lives than maybe us have. But I think for now we're kind of rolling with Sundays. We're gonna try and post like a lifts of the week type deal. Maybe add like a little grocery haul or meal prep vlog. Might end up getting posted on Tuesday or Wednesday. Push back so we have time to edit it and everything. But Monday we're gonna be doing member spotlights. So if I hit you up, on DMs, if I have your number, I'll text you and I'll ask if you can fill out a Google form for us, and then throw some pictures or anything on that on the bottom, and then yeah, I just put it together in a quick poster on Canva, and I'll throw it up on Instagram and Facebook. And then Tuesdays or Wednesdays, like I said, it's just kind of maybe that meal prep vlog or a grocery haul, something like that. Eventually, we'll get to maybe some edits and lifts and a couple other people like just filming them, watching them put it together, make it look cool. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Still getting into that one. Posted one. It was all right, but it definitely was a
Hey, I
little
liked
real
it.
raw. Um,
We're learning.
yeah, no kidding. Eventually, too, we'll. I wanted to start doing like member testimonials. It's just finding time to pull people away to ask them 4 or 5 questions on video too is the biggest thing.
I think just being more personal with
Yeah,
our members and putting out content that people can really relate to than just kind of cookie cutter.
yeah,
So I think that your idea to kind of get all this stuff going is great. So gonna have a lot of fun content, a lot more relatable content to get everyone engaged on the
yeah.
socials. So
Eventually, too. Now that we have these mics, we don't have a full podcast setup yet. These mics are super versatile, and I can take them to do gym vlogs. I can do quick interviews. I can do a whole bunch of stuff, and I think it'll get pretty interesting the more we get into the social media stuff, and we can pull clips from here, pull random clips from however much recording I do of people in the gym. So, I mean, if you're not comfortable with me asking you to record, just I guess don't. But otherwise, I might just be walking around asking people if
yeah,
I can
just say
record their
something.
set real quick. Yeah, or ask them to say something. Maybe ask what their favorite food is, favorite post workout meal, any
Yeah, those are fun.
random
Just
random stuff.
random
Really, yeah.
questions of the day or something.
Um, Gosh,
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, that might just slowly do more and more with socials, and we get to TikTok eventually. Gotta, I think the videos have to be shorter before we get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I can help with that too. I feel like I have a lot more TikTok background, but not being here is like the struggle.
Mm,
Because I think a lot of businesses, like, you really want to make your content where your home base is, so making TikToks in the gym. I've worked with a lot of companies, they've asked me to make TikToks, and I just make it at my house. It's a lot different.
yeah,
Can't really connect as much. and you're not really meeting the people who are actually there doing the work.
Yeah, for those that don't know too, with Skylar, I think I stole him pretty much because he was one of the first college ambassadors for TikTok and amassed like 600,000 followers, and I managed to get him in here and working for us, so I was pretty happy about that too.
Yeah. Well, I just needed something more serious, and I feel like being here with all these little like toys and cameras and stuff in the media room, it's just like helped me a lot,
Yeah, I
and
was
it's just
saying
like makes it fun.
you guys can't really see it, but behind the camera, the owner he used to have like a photography company,
He has an
and
NSN.
yeah, NSN Productions. He's got a bunch of stuff. So it's been super helpful for Skylar to just go through it and kind of figure everything out. And then nice for us to have this room where we can shut the door and you can't even hear the music downstairs, which is also super nice.
Yeah,
So
little podcast studio we didn't even know we had.
yeah, no kidding. I guess how was your track meet?
It was good. So I mean, JV, they're all freshmen, maybe a sophomore on there, so some of them have never done a sporting event in their life. So trying to learn how to pole vault was a struggle. But I had this girl, her name's Elizabeth. She's just a short freshman. She's like 5 foot and just speedy. And she PR'd by like a foot yesterday.
Oh wow.
And I was like, if you get close to this next bar, I'll take you to the varsity meet next week. And she got pretty close. So I told her that she was going to go to districts next week, and her face just lit up. Like she was just so excited. So that's what's fun about it, is just like just kind of messing around. And I mean, that's a huge point in someone's life. High school sports, like all my coaches were like, I mean, parents to me, and I still talk to some to this day. So I really try and just be open and not be too hard on them, but support them and teach them more than just track.
Yeah.
So no, it's a lot of fun. Next week's the last week, unless I have some state qualifiers, but we have a pretty tough district. So yeah.
Sure. I would say yeah. I didn't play sports in high school, so I got into powerlifting late in life, kind of late college. But my coach Matt Smith, I don't know, he's come over to my apartment a couple times. We text fairly regularly about stuff outside of the gym and outside of powerlifting. Like I'm trying to get my own certification for personal training, and so he's been super
Oh,
helpful
nice.
with that. But at the same time too, just having him as a friend and someone you can also talk to is super nice to be able
Oh,
to
huge.
have someone, especially in the gym, where like yeah, it's a lot of us. It's an escape to come here, but at the same time, it's still pretty mentally draining to have. And so to have a coach you can just talk to is super nice too.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Um,
I think that's kind of like why this podcast is going to work really well, because you have like a large background in like powerlifting and everything, and all I know about lifting is just whatever I did in collegiate sports. So I feel like I can learn from you as everyone else is learning. So I think it'll be good to kind of just spitball ideas and
yeah, and
go
what's
from
super
there.
nice too about really anything is you can continue learning. Like I told someone the other day they were trying to do a seated row. It was a neutral grip, and they were just trying to do it so they could, ease into their bench better and really press their shoulders back and
Hmm.
get into a better positioning. And I told them, and it just came off the top of my head. I don't even know where it came from. I told them, just imagine when you're pulling, that you're trying to like pull yourself into your bench.
Mm.
And they said almost immediately, like after that set, they could feel like the muscles they needed to working. So
Right.
it's kind of wild, even stuff that like you don't think you're learning or stuff that you don't even think about until you're saying it.
Hmm.
And like that continuing education is so huge too.
No, yeah. it's
um,
it's cool when you can tell that they have that kind of epiphany, and they just like they get it,
yeah.
and they see that, and it's really cool to see. I mean, I have, when I coach too for track, I mean, they're just like, I don't get it, or what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, you're right there. Like you just need that one kind of to break the ice, and you'll get that feeling.
Hmm.
And you're like, oh, what was that? And then
Yeah.
just continue to do that. It's just steps and breaking the ice. So
Yeah, and that's what's cool about powerlifting is it's so much like you got to change it before you ever figure out what works. Like you can get by with so much for so long. Like I was powerlifting for 2 years with a wide stance squat, a mid grip bench, and then conventional deadlifting for 2 years, and then partially tore my erector, so I switched to sumo. After a little bit of distaste to trying to force myself not to have to do it, but I mean, then you find out your leverages and you find out, oh, I'm better at sumo, so I might as well keep it and add
yeah.
conventional back in, and my back feels better, and it does now. And then, going to squat, like just recently I learned kind of where my anatomy is, like for my hips, like anatomically I should be a little bit narrow stance, because when I sit down into it, I'll widen out. When I come back in, my knees cave. And then went and saw Rachel over at the Body Lab, and she just kind of brought my feet in a little bit and had me do a couple other things, and then suddenly I had hardly any knee cave whatsoever. Um, and that also, not to say it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, knee valgus is almost normal. You just want to minimize it as much as possible. Anyway, and it pretty much got rid of mine. So it was 2 years I was squatting
Wow.
wide. And then with bench, I was doing like a pinky on the ring kind of grip. And then I threw into a wide grip where I was my middle finger on the ring for, I don't know, 6 weeks. And then I came out of it feeling more comfortable going that wide. So I switched to that wide. And it's, all three of those changes, I mean, they were minute changes, like over a couple months, or like changing this and that, and like figuring out that this works better than this. And it's fun because it's a constant change. You got to change how your body changes. Like back when I first started, I was like 205 maybe,
Uh-huh.
and like the heavier I got, more muscle I put on, like sitting at 230, 235, I still have to kind of adjust how I sit and
Mm-hmm.
like grab, because it's, I don't know, anatomically your body will change and you got to adjust to those changes as you go. And that's kind of what I like about powerlifting too. So you just got to roll with it, and it's kind of fun.
It seems like very like personal. You have certain things that you do that work for you. I know a lot of sports, people look at someone who's really good and they'll be like, you need to do exactly what this person is
Mm-hmm.
doing. Is that something that in powerlifting that people look at, those big names and they're like, oh, I need to do this? Or are they more focused on what works for them?
Yeah, and I mean, you can by all means take something from someone. Like when I first started learning to sumo deadlift, I was watching some of the top sumo deadlifters in the world, like Danny Grigsby and Jamal Browner, and guys, a couple names falling off the top of my head right now. But like, I watched them and tried to watch a couple deadlift tutorials and figure out where I should be. And then, I tried it that way and it didn't quite work. I talked to Matt and I watched a couple other videos, and eventually, I changed my stance, a little bit here and there, and eventually got where I want. So yeah, it's
Nice.
so personal. Like you can definitely look at what other people do, but you have to also be aware of your body, and it's kind of fun because it makes you aware of
Yeah.
everything you need. And I mean, I feel like, I guess I don't know with pole vaulting, but I feel like everyone's going to be a little bit different too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, my college experience in pole vaulting was kind of skewed because I was transferred so many times, and I had a coach that got fired, and then my new coach was an old teammate that just graduated. It was just like not a good experience. But when I got the new coach, I mean, they would straight up pull up a video of someone and be like, "See this? Like they're good. You need to do exactly that." I'm like, no, I'm very different. I pole vault very differently. I can still be really good doing the like things that I do. I mean, you look at the world record holders in any sort of sport. I mean, they're going to be doing something that's probably unique to them, because then that's what we would look at and be like, oh, we should do that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll say I know. Well, I guess in this podcast is gonna hop around so many times. I have ADHD too, and I'm gonna pop in whatever's in my head is gonna get taken out. So it might not make sense
hey,
going from one thing
that
to
makes it
another.
work. That makes it work. Anything I could just grab off of you and just go with it would be good.
So the only other thing I was gonna touch on real quick too is like kind of curious about, I guess for pole vaulting, like your conditioning work, because you're so specified in what you do.
Right.
I don't really know.
So, I mean, we did do a lot of conditioning, but it's a lot less than any other event. I would say, you're only running 100 feet down the runway each time, and you get a break in between. So we did a lot of conditioning kind of in the off season just to stay in shape.
Mm.
A lot of buildups. That's huge for pole vaulting, because that's really what it is you're building up to your top speed. So when you take off and jump, like you're going to be full speed. So we do a lot of like small hurdle work, sprint technique, that type of stuff before we even grab poles. But conditioning wise, A lot of times we just kind of do stuff with the sprinters at the beginning, just to get those kind of isometric workouts in. But gosh, towards the end of my career at Nebraska, I was trained to be a multi, so a decathlete, and going from being a pole vaulter who doesn't really do much conditioning to being a decathlete was just brutal. I mean, I loved it, but I mean, those guys go crazy. I mean, we'd run probably 3.5 miles a day just in conditioning.
Huh.
And it wasn't like just like a 3.5 mile jog or something. Like we would do these things called like fartlicks. So you would do 40, 50, 60. So you would do like a 40-second sprint, 40-second jog, 40-second sprint, 40-second jog, 40-second sprint, 40-second jog. And then you would do that for 50-second, and then 60-second, and that would be one.
Woof.
And you'd probably get, I don't know, we'd get like maybe a minute or two in between just to rest. We do three of them, and it'd be like around 3 miles. So those were I just felt like, here I am going from a pole vaulter. I didn't do much running in high school or in college, and trying to compete with Division I athletes. There's this one guy's name's Till from Germany, and so I got the opportunity to train with him, and he's just a machine. And he broke the heptathlon record, school record at UNL this year.
Oh, nice.
Just insane. I mean, he could pole vault like 16.7, 16.10, and long jump like 25 feet, like something crazy. High jump like 6'6", or I don't know. He's just nuts. So
Yeah.
it was kind of cool to get his perspective as just like someone who's from a different country. And he's just so motivated. I mean, he would not care about anyone else.
Well, I feel like for some reason, and it comes to light in like other sports too, is across the pond or even like further south, like down in Mexico and areas in that, they take so much more pride in their sports for some reason than we do. So like it's really weird, especially like from an Olympic lifting standpoint. You go over to Russia,
Mm-hmm.
and those kids are trans, and they're able to move,
Right.
and like it may not be with any weight, but they're hammering technique and hammering technique until they get to a point where they're comfortable with their technique, or their coaches are comfortable with their technique. They give them a little bit of weight, and then they hammer that weight until their technique's perfect again. I don't know. I feel like other countries do that almost better than we do, which is completely unpatriotic of me to say, but at the same time, like the I don't know, the facts are there. Like it makes sense.
I feel like here there's just more choice. Like you get to try as many things as you want and then pick what you like to do, instead of just drilling one thing from a young age.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot more pride in different countries, in certain sports. They have usually their specific one. I mean, there's even, I don't know if you've ever seen the Queen's Gambit, but even like chess, like that in some places, and even like Russia, that's like a huge thing. And so that they start them early. I think it's just kind of a cultural tradition and kind of a pride thing,
Mm-hmm.
and also a way to like, you know, get your name out there and get educated, if you don't have access to education like we do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's fair. And then I'm gonna hop back to the conditioning thing, just because jumped over that entirely.
Go ahead.
And it's just funny to me too, because like from pole vaulting with minimal conditioning, everyone thinks powerlifting should have minimal conditioning too.
Mm-hmm.
Until you get into it and you realize, like I went down a deep dive. I went down a rabbit hole when I started like really getting into the coaching thing, really getting into like wanting to get certified, and like figuring out so much minutia of what we should be doing. Like powerlifters don't have to be amazingly cardiovascularly fit. Like we don't. It just doesn't. We don't need to be. However, what we do need to be is like in shape enough we can handle the stresses of a meet.
Right.
And even like, yeah, walking on an incline is what a lot of people do, especially when they're trying to cut from it, because it's easy, it's low stress, it's no problem. What I've started doing is a lot of more dynamic warm up stuff. So like incorporating box jumps and incorporating broad jumps and med ball slams and a bunch of stuff like that, because it's more full body movements. And in powerlifting, to lift a maximum amount of weight, you need a lot of force. And force equals mass times acceleration. So by theory, then if you do those explosive movements to warm up, you're training those fast twitch fibers and your whole entire body to work together.
Mm.
And so I started incorporating a lot of that and a lot of like really high rep, high volume, low fatigue. There's someone out in the training world, Matt Wenning. He introduced this thing called Wenning warm ups. And what it is, the same thing, high volume, low fatigue, where within 15 minutes you do 100 reps split into a 4 by 25 of 3 different exercises.
Okay.
2 of them are focusing on your weaknesses, and 1 of them is a priming movement. So, like, if you're benching that day, so you're going to be flat benching, you're going to do a 4 by 25 like tricep extensions, and then maybe a 4 by 25 with like banded rows. Just focusing on some of the weak points of most people's bench. And then for a priming movement, you're going to lay down and do dumbbell bench for a 4 by 25. Now, none of these weights need to be exceptionally high.
Right.
But over time, the longer you do that, the more you get used to that pre-fatigue and pre-exhaust. And like there's like evidence that shows that people that do that oftentimes over time they're going to like be a whole lot better off and do better in the meet because they're more muscularly like fit for the stresses of the meet. Like
Yeah.
the meet is absolutely no problem because their muscles can completely handle that amount of stress because they pre-fatigue before they even go into anything else.
So if there's people who don't do that and aren't going to be able to handle the stresses at a meet, is there also people who like you think would do too much, like train to the point of too much fatigue because they like just want to get there so bad that they just do too much?
Yeah, and I mean, by no means do people need to do it either. Like some people can handle the stresses of a meet no problem. Some people can handle their workouts, but like, and I think it was mainly created because it was a lot of the guys in like the 308 plus weight class where they were carrying around all that weight, and so they needed to one carry that around and two be ready for the meet.
Right.
But I think too, like, there's definitely a point where it becomes too much. Like Matt Wenning, I watched a video of his. So when he's benching and he holds or used to hold, I don't remember if he's the world record on just bench only raw at like 628. And he when he does his warm ups, he only uses 40-pound dumbbells. Like he's a guy that can 100% probably just use 150s for sets of 10, no problem.
Wow.
But he uses those 40s just literally to prime the muscle
Yeah.
to get it ready, and it's heavy enough that there's like minimal fatigue but a high stimulus for getting you ready to do whatever you need to do.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's wild too, and there's so much more I went down the rabbit hole into, but
Yeah, I would have never known. That's so smart.
yeah, and there's so much more info out there you can learn on so much other stuff too. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know. Speaking of conditioning too, I guess I started changing mine up and just kind of finding ways to enjoy things outside of just heavy shit. Like this morning, one of our members here, he's a Marine Corps officer. He convinced me to go PT with him this morning, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go on a?" He asked me yesterday, "Hey, you want to go on a 5 mile hike at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow?" I'm like, "I don't know what." He said, "Yeah, we're leaving at 5," and I said, I don't really want to go." And then I don't know, I haven't hiked in so long, and I enjoy it, and
It's fun.
yeah, it's fun for sure. And then eventually, it wasn't even him convincing me; it was more me convincing myself to
Yeah.
go. And then once I did, I don't know, it was a fun morning. I hurt now.
Well, I mean, this weather's perfect. Like, it's not too, like, the sun's not blaring early enough. It was probably, like, just the perfect, like, what was it, like, 50s, late 50s,
Yeah, somewhere in there.
60s,
I mean, I was wearing
maybe?
pants and a long sleeve shirt.
Oh.
Now, granted, it was more like a dry fit kind of flannel
Right.
outdoorsy shirt, but at the same time, I was perfectly comfortable. And we were in packs too, so like,
Oh, dang.
yeah, it's 35 pounds.
Oh,
Some
shoot.
people might have been heavier, but at the same time, like, it was so nice outside. And then I don't know, I had a good time.
That's
I'm
sweet.
sore right now, and my blisters are itchy.
That is sweet. How was that? What park did you say that you went
It's
to?
Shram out by
Shram.
Gretna off the Platte.
Okay. I don't think I've been over there.
I had been there.
Was it pretty nice?
Yeah, it was. So when you're going up towards Omaha, and you cross the Platte and curve, and there's that giant hill.
Yeah.
It's back in that area, so
Oh.
it's actually fairly hilly, fairly treed.
Nice.
Um, and the worst part too is like it's hilly, and so you're going up and
Right.
down. You're crossing routes. There was some, the state park had added timbers for steps in some places,
Oh,
and you know the guy who invited me, he's tall first of all, so that doesn't help because he strides out super far.
right.
And then towards the end, he really wanted to push everyone, so we ended up damn near running up these hills. And yeah,
Wow.
we were running up these hills. Once we got to the top, then we started walking. But it's a shock at first because and it's always a shock in general
Uh-huh.
because when you first start out on any cardio, that first like 10 minutes, depending on what you're doing. For me, it was like the first 2 miles. We did it in like half an hour, 40 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Those first 2 miles suck because you just can't catch your breath. You're just constantly moving.
Right. Trying to get a feel for it.
And then eventually, I mean, your body knows what it's doing. It levels out eventually. Your heart rate's still elevated. You can catch your breath, no problem.
Yeah.
And so it got to a point where when we first did them within that first 2 miles, yeah, we were all fucking dying. But then towards the end, like it would suck going up and you would move quick. But as soon as you got to the top, we would slow down and we'd catch our breath. So
Nice.
oh,
Who were those other like guys that were out there with you?
they were just so the guy at the gym, he's a Marine Corps officer. He went through OCS, and some of the other guys are just his OCS candidates primarily.
Nice.
Yeah, which is officer candidates. He's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so a lot of those guys were just kind of getting a feel for it,
And you
going
just
50
hopped
with
in
him.
there.
Yeah, he asked me yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? It might be weird. I'm not really planning on it.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but not anymore. But yeah, no, it's fun, and gosh, Tyler, he always says like, oh, what is it? You're daily reminded to do hard things. He told that to me twice yesterday, and then like when we started, and then right before we finished, we were like half a mile out. Walked up this last hill, came to like a nice easy pace, going down a hill about a quarter mile left, and started running. And as soon as he started running, he literally he yelled, just daily reminder to do hard things. We're like, son of a bitch.
Oh.
So we were running. Yeah, it was.
So that's what I really like though, is like in those situations, like if someone's gonna tell you to do that and push you, the fact that they can do it themselves just means so
Mhm.
much more. Like if someone's like, just sit on their ass and can't do anything, but they're telling you to do that, then
Yeah.
you don't really want to listen. But just to physically see someone doing that, it's just a lot more motivation. I feel like
Yeah.
there was this there's this older guy. He's a long distance coach on the track team, and he runs all the time too. He's probably in his 60s, and we were at the track meet, and I didn't talk to him too much because pole vault's all the way like in
Yeah.
the own area, and we were actually at a different school than the whole track meet because they didn't have a pole vault pit. So everyone else was in Raymond, we were in Malcolm, but um, a plane was flying by, and I was like, "What kind of plane is that?" It was a military plane, and he told me what it was, and he was like, "I used to jump out of those," and I was like, you were in the military? Like I would have never guessed. And he was like, said that he was in the army and that he actually was a ranger.
Oh.
And he was telling me that, like, I mean, he went to Germany and they'd drop him and they'd land in water and swim to shore, like just crazy stuff. Like
Wow.
that he was telling me that he was doing like at my age at 22 years old. And I was just like kind of blown away. So it was cool to get that experience, just to like have that time with him, to have that conversation. And then we talked about, I mean, like I said, he's in his 60s and he runs every day, so it's easy to tell his kids. He's like, I just did that this morning. Like, what's stopping you?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of cool.
I'll say I used to run all the time. Back when I was like late high school, I was 16. I was the short fat kid, and eventually I got tired of it, so I started running. You started at 1 mile, and then once that got easier, be able up to 2, and then 3. And I throw in a couple fours, but apparently it was 3 miles a day. Um, and sometimes I miss it, and sometimes I don't. It's really wild. I started running again recently just because I wanted. It's really weird because so I'm trying to do my cardio for powerlifting because I got to meet in about 11 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Got a few pounds to lose, make my water cut a little easier to get down there.
Right.
I didn't want to just keep walking on a treadmill on an incline because to me that's boring. And so I started running again, and it's been a shock.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of nice because like it doesn't feel like it's going faster, but it almost feels like it's going faster. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Well, and just like being able to be outside and not on a machine is just so much better for you. I feel like just
Yeah.
fresh air, you have a view, like it's not as boring. Yeah, because if you're doing, on a treadmill, you're just stationary and just there for so long,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing like a few miles.
Yeah, and like I was doing intervals because I just found a random program too, which is like Couch to 5K, and it's gotten to a point where I'm still using the treadmill because I don't have a watch again anymore. I've been meaning to get one, and so it's just increasing intervals every week. I think it's like a 10-week program, getting you basically from running at 60-second intervals to running 30 minutes straight.
Oh wow,
Um,
that
I know I'll be curious how it ends up, but like towards the last 3-4 weeks, it's longer intervals, so I might start running outside again. But for now, it's still on the treadmill, which is unfortunate, but it
well, that's
works.
a good place to start. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, because then you'll be ready. And plus, the weather probably not until today or yesterday was it even like good to actually be outside.
yeah, and I don't like the treadmill, but I also like it for keeping pace because it also
Mm,
keeps me honest. 'Cause
right, because you can hold that.
back when I was running and like was actually trying to time my 2 mile, like I would book it way too soon, way too fast. I
Right.
my first mile, so my PR mile was like a 6:50, which
Nice.
isn't that good. But then when you compare it to the second mile, I do a 6:51 mile was my best, and like a 14:45 2 mile.
Oh, geez.
So I would damn near lose over a minute every time I would like
Right.
really try and go because I just struggled to pace myself, and that's at least what I find
That is
decent about the
very hard.
treadmill. Yeah, and the treadmill helps keep you that way too, and it's nice because then you can push it a little more because you're on a treadmill. It's only for an interval. You don't have your mind to get in the way of trying to keep that pace. You have to, otherwise you're gonna fall off.
Right. You're gonna eat it.
Yeah, so it's been kind of nice to run again.
I need to get
230
to that too.
pounds running might look a little weird, but it's kind of fun. I don't know.
No, that's fun. Yeah, I need to kind of get back out into some sort of routine. Kind of fell off and after doing track, and then I jump with the kids too. Like probably about twice a week, I'll do a workout with them. But I want to start running too because I think it's just a good like full body, just keep you fit,
Yeah,
not too straining if you go too long. But
yeah. I was saying that's what I'm fighting now too. Is like I don't want to take away from my powerlifting because that's
right,
primarily what I do. So I was trying to run on my off days, and then someone told me like, why don't you run just after your workout? Like, yeah, you can run on your off days, but then if you're sore for your lift the next day, then what did
right,
you gain? Why don't you just run right after your workout? You have the full recovery period that you normally would, and you're still getting all the running in.
yeah,
You do your lifting first because that's what's technically more important, and then you do your cardio after, and you can still at least get it done. But it's
that'll
your
be good.
lifting is what actually gets your full energy.
And you'll be warm too from
Yeah,
the workout. I mean, I'm sure you'll be a little tired, but I mean, just think of it as like a cool down, just
yeah.
to jog.
What was really bad was Wednesday after leg day, and I was about to go home, and then I told myself like I wasn't gonna be able to run again this week, so I was gonna do that 5 miles, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah.
I was about to go home, and then I talked myself into running, so it was nice. My AirPods were dead.
Oh.
I had my over ear headphones, and that was all I had left, and they're not the best, and so I didn't want to run with those, but I forced myself into it, and it was good. It's always more rewarding when you don't want to and you end up
Then you
doing
just
it.
like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I did it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, especially pushing yourself too, like you mentioned earlier, like when you said that you kind of push yourself to go this morning instead of him. I think it's a harder barrier to get over your own mind.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is since I agreed to it, I told myself I was gonna eat a little bit extra last night to like also give me energy for the morning after. So doing stuff like that early in the morning, I hate eating before. Like I have tried a couple times, just like a granola bar, something easy. I never can. It just doesn't sit well.
I wouldn't. My body would not be ready.
So yeah, I didn't eat that this morning when I did it, but then last night I treated myself to agave, and
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
that was kind of
bussin'.
nice.
I love agave. It's so. Do you think it's better than Chipotle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually on my way to Chipotle last night, and then I told myself, like, wait, there's agave right
Yeah.
there, and it's better food, it's better portions, it's all just
Oh.
more worth it.
Yeah, I've gone there so much. I would go with my girlfriend, and like he just knows our orders basically. There's a guy that work. I see him every time I go in there. You get the little punch card.
I haven't, no.
Yeah, they don't have them sitting out there anymore. You got to ask for it.
Oh, good
It's
to
like
know.
buy 10 get one free or something. It's like a
They might have probably had like 3 free burritos by now.
yeah, dude.
I tell you what, the Morales family, they know what they're doing in Lincoln. They have a monopoly on this
Oh yeah, like the
city.
El Toro, Las
Yeah,
Margaritas,
yeah, and then
and
now
it's all
agave.
so good.
Oh yeah, 100%. If y'all want to know about it too, just a little secret since they don't keep it. It's literally just a punch card. 10 punches, you get your 11th free. That's a solid deal too.
No, yeah.
But yeah,
I
no.
feel like they're pretty affordable too
Oh yeah, no, they're not bad.
for what you get.
For what you get, the better ingredients, and some people that might love Chipotle are going to be upset with me.
Well, hey,
The better ingredients, better portions, nicer customer service. To be totally honest with you too.
oh, 100%.
For
Yeah,
the same price,
it's more of a
as
family.
what Chipotle would be.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely better. And yeah, since it's family run, it's all.
Well, you can't forget that they have alcohol.
Yeah, no kidding.
They got a little bar, like half price margs on Thursdays, I think. So
Yeah, not to mention they pour heavy.
no, it shouldn't say this, but I'm pretty sure you can take them to go too. So that's
Oh boy, that's really dangerous. That brings me back to COVID when like Applebee's would do like their dollar drinks to go, and they give you like a jug that you can.
It's
just
like,
take
how is that
home.
legal?
Just
open containers in your car.
I don't even know. During COVID, it was a wild time for fast food and everything because you just got so much to go, and Applebee's, I guarantee, they got so much more business during that too. When you can take alcohol to go instead of
100%.
buying the alcohol separately and mixing it yourself versus just having it done for you for super cheap because Applebee's is just cheap.
Yep. It's so close, like agave being close to campus too. I think I got a final presentation for my capstone on Monday, and my whole group's. I think we're just going there right after class.
Might as well.
We might as well.
Yeah. I said, you have like with graduating, you have actual finals. Or you just gonna be done in dead week.
So since I'm a journalism student, we have a lot of like project based stuff. So I'm just doing a lot of pitches, a lot of presentations, and once I'm done with those, which are basically next week, I'm done. But I do have a media ethics exam on finals week that's technically due the day before graduation, which is kind of weird. But I think it's like open for a few days, so I could take it before then.
Yeah.
But not too bad.
That's pretty good.
I'm ready to be done.
Yeah, no kidding. So the only reason I asked, I was going to ask you were going to have a few drinks when you went after your presentation.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. After the presentation, I don't have any other class. So that's on a Monday. I do have class at 2, but my capstone is literally 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So from 10 to 2 I'm not gonna go crazy, but just
I mean, yeah,
just get a beverage.
Might as well. So they're good. They're heavy, but they're good.
Yeah.
I think they have like Mexican colas too, don't they?
Yeah, they have that.
So much better.
Well, and like the Cokes that are in the glass bottles, they have I think a little bit more sugar.
Well, and I think it's like pure cane sugar.
Yeah,
which is
that's probably the difference.
Yeah, 100%.
They have Marditos and just your Modelo's in there, of course.
Oh yeah, I would say I have a couple tall boys of those in my fridge because they're too good to pass up, especially when you're eating a burrito.
I can't drink it without a lime though.
Really?
Yeah, I can, but like I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I would say the other thing with those too, they get so much worse when they get warm.
Oh, dude,
they have to be ice cold.
So much worse. Good. That's what sucks too, because like I only really want to have it when I'm like having Mexican or like it's a hot day and something, and then it just gets so flat and gross quick.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I just chug them. So
yeah, it works, I suppose. Speaking of like Mexican restaurants and alcohol, this might be a hot take. Tipsy Tina's, unless you're going for margs, is overrated.
Oh,
The tacos are not that good.
I would agree with that.
Okay, unless you're going for a marg specifically, and you got to get the bigger one,
Yeah,
or a flight.
the bigger.
It's wild. They're literally like this tall.
They're huge.
It's wild. Unless you're going for a margarita and maybe a couple tacos after you finish the margarita, the tacos are overrated.
The tacos are 100% overrated. I'll agree with that. They have over 200 kinds of tequila, which makes it nice with the margaritas.
Yeah,
But what slaps is the chips and queso.
that's true. Yeah, I've only had the queso once. Because I don't usually spend the extra money on it since they just give you the chips and salsa. But
dude, I will go in there and specifically just get the chips and queso and not even get a taco and then get a margarita. But honestly, I agree, the tacos are subpar. Yeah. The tacos are subpar. I mean, I've had probably 4 or 5 different kinds because you can just pick individual tacos, and yeah, they're all right. You ever been to Rusty Taco?
I haven't actually. I've heard they're a little expensive, a little pricey.
They are, but they're worth it.
Oh, fair enough.
They're actually really good.
I guess now we're on the topic too. It's Cinco de Mayo.
That's today?
Yeah, it's the 5th of May.
Oh, hey!
Dude, now that we're here.
I was thinking about, I'm like, that is this week, but I didn't think it was today.
Yeah, no, it's today. While it's on a Friday. Y'all be careful.
Stay safe.
No, the best, just keeping on brand, the best Mexican restaurant besides El Toro, because you can't go wrong with it. If you're going specifically for and I'm going to butcher this name because I try so many times and I hear it so many different ways, Birria Tacos. Birria.
I've never had that before.
They're literally like beef consomme.
I want to check this to make sure we're still recording.
Yeah, no kidding.
Imagine we're talking for... Okay, no, yeah. We're at 41 minutes, but...
Oh, we've just been talking.
Hey, that's all right. I just wanted to make sure we, it stopped 10 minutes in. And,
yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so where's this place at?
It's called Los Gonzales. It's on...
Okay.
North 1st and Cornhusker. So when you're going out Cornhusker, if you're coming from the gym, you go out Cornhusker that way.
Yeah.
That light, you can either turn left or turn right up into the Highlands area.
I've been in there before.
Strip. Yeah. They have the best birria tacos. It's short ribs braised in their own juices and a couple other odds and ends here and there. And then the consomme, the broth that you get out of it, they give you that to dip in, and they fry the tortillas in that consomme too.
Dang.
It is so you just have to.
That sounds
I won't lie to you.
Heavenly.
Yes, it absolutely is. And I just keep you on that brand too. So many smaller restaurants in Lincoln have so much better food.
Oh yeah, well, it's more authentic.
Yeah, 100%.
Like they actually put effort into it. Tina's
Cafe.
Yes.
Like pork tenderloin sandwiches this big.
I have not had that, but I have been there. That is good.
And it is like the size of this room, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. There's another one. There's this one a little bit south called Penelope's Cafe.
Yeah, I've heard
also very small. They have this huge praying mantis metal sculpture in the grass area.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's some sort of Tiger Fitness thing over there, and but yeah, that's a pretty cool spot.
Yeah.
Cook's Cafe. Ever been there?
I don't know if I know about that one.
So we'll tie it back into Mexican because La Paz, which is probably one of the best personally, because they have cream cheese chicken enchiladas, which is their staple, and they have good margaritas too. But I always go there with my family. But right behind there,
you drink with your family?
Yeah,
I drink to be with my family. What do you mean?
Right behind the strip is Cook's Cafe, and gosh, they have really good breakfast. Really good breakfast. I'll go in. I went there for the first time the day after my 21st birthday. Hungover as shit. Could barely eat anything, but it was just so good. And then I had to go back a second time because maybe it's just so good because I'm so hungover, but no, it's just that good still. So I would recommend Cook's Cafe.
All right, I'll have to give it a shot. I'm always looking for different ones. Speaking of trying new things, surprisingly enough, it's been here for a while. I've never tried crumble cookie.
Neither have I, but
I've heard Gateway.
Very good things.
I've heard good things and overrated things. And it's one of those things I think you have to try to decide for yourself.
We'll have to try it.
I've heard they have great cookies, but only specific ones.
Right. Oh, okay. So specific, yeah.
The only issue is they constantly have a rotating menu, and unless you're looking for like just straight sugar, it's not gonna be that good.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard anyway.
we should get some and try them on the podcast.
But I
taste test.
gotta break some news here. I'm going tonight. Sorry.
No. Do a little.
We can still have them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
What do they have? What's on the menu right now?
I don't know.
You know what you're gonna get?
My phone's over there recording right now. You're gonna have to look it up.
Oh, how long are we gonna?
I don't know because we're still going. We might
Probably
want to start wrapping it up. So we were originally gonna just do half an hour, and then we start talking.
Which is good. I mean, it's all natural stuff here.
100%. Plus, we have more shit to choose from to like cut down and post short clips of. And
oh yeah.
I don't know if we have anything really educational or intelligent to put out short, but at the same time,
nope.
It'll be funny.
let's stay on the Cinco de Mayo since we realized that, or I did at least.
Yeehaw.
After you said it.
Yeah.
So where's your favorite? I'm gonna ask you two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite Mexican food place. Okay.
Yep.
Then also, what's your take on? Oh geez, I'm blanking right now. The like fast food Mexican place that like everyone like knows about. I'm blanking on this right now.
There's a couple Abelardos.
No.
Taco Bell.
No, like more traditional.
Or agave.
Like drive-through.
Oh. Which one?
Dude,
I think
it's like a big. There's like 8 of them in Lincoln. I can't even think of.
I just can't even look it up with you while you're looking at it.
I know. Well, I'm looking at crumble cookie.
We gotta do one thing at a time here.
It's dumb because it's like very well known, and I just can't think. It's like open 24 hours, 24/7.
Oh, De Leon. Jesus,
dude, I know. I'm like, what? I'm like, there's so many. Why can I think? Yeah. What do you think about De Leon's?
I love it.
Yeah.
I know I only go for breakfast burritos, but I love it. My favorite Mexican restaurant. It's El Toro. Has to be. Yeah. It's so small. It's so good.
El Toro is very good.
Yeah.
Just right in the pocket of that
56
Van Dorn Plaza.
Van Dorn Plaza. Like there's a Planet Fitness. There used to be a Subway. I think that's gone. Yep. And then like an old hobby town that's literally in the corner.
Yep.
It's amazing. And then I love De Leon's. It is absolutely like if I want a breakfast burrito, I would go to De Leon's. Okay. And it's one thing like if like Chipotle Qdoba Agave opened up like earlier and did breakfast burritos, I would go broke.
Yeah.
I would go broke.
Yeah. Yeah. Is the Nebraska burrito, is that a breakfast one at De Leon's?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
I always get the hash brown burrito because it has I think sausage, bacon, hash browns, cream cheese, eggs, and like regular cheese too.
I like cream cheese.
Everything. Yeah, 100%. Cream cheese.
I'm a big cream cheese guy. Yeah.
Speaking of cream cheese, and we'll go off topic for a short second. Have you ever been to Ramos Pizza?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, their cream cheese pepperoni pizza. Yeah, without a doubt.
Oh, yes, but you're missing out on the buffalo chicken cream cheese Alfredo. I think.
Yeah, no, I've had that too,
dude.
But
there's
nothing wrong with a classic.
Oh no. Yeah. Pepperoni cream cheese. That's probably my go-to. Yeah. Anywhere if they have it.
Back when they were closer up here over on North 48th, it was a whole lot easier to get to, and then they moved to 48th and Capitol Parkway. Yep. It's still not that bad.
Right by Van Dorn Plaza.
Yeah, it's still not that bad, but like, I think it's more centered for them to do delivery too. But
here's your options. You
got what we're looking at for coffee. We're looking at classic milk chocolate.
Yep.
A dulce de leche, cake batter, a Buckeye brown. Oh god.
Whoa.
And a maple oatmeal. Oh, I know my fiance is gonna get that, no doubt. And then a classic pink sugar. That just looks like a more expanded version of a Loft House sugar cookie.
Yep.
Which are always good. Maple oatmeal does look good though.
I don't even know what I would get. They all look pretty extreme.
They all look sugary as hell.
I know. Gosh.
I got some decisions to make, I suppose. I got a couple friends that will literally go. I know one person in particular. He has like the platinum membership. You can get memberships to that.
What?
Yeah. You get like so many points towards each purchase. He will literally get 3 cookies every couple days or every week.
Are they expensive? Like how much? They're pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah, or no? They're like this big.
Yeah.
Like they come in that fancy freaking box.
Yeah.
Yeah. He will literally get 3 cookies. I don't know how often. I think it might be every week, but it also might be like every other day.
Hey, if
he
you can do it, might as well.
he did a breakdown on like the cookies he eats, and it's like an extra 2,200 calories. Yeah,
What?
yeah, no, they're absolutely calorically dense.
Wow. That's nuts.
That is nuts.
There's Goodly cookies, which I haven't tried yet either. That's new
I've
to
heard.
downtown.
Yeah, one of our members, Haley, I think she's talked about Goodley before, very briefly, a very long time ago. And I don't even know if I'm going to remember it correctly. I won't lie to you. But
Yeah.
might have
I
been
don't
someone else, right? I might have just drove by and seen it, but my brain doesn't know what's what. So, but back on it, yeah, El Toro for sure. And I love De Leon's. There's nothing wrong with a hash brown burrito piss hammered at 2:30 in the morning. The only thing, you got to go to the right ones. So,
Oh yeah.
West O is the OG. It's great.
Yeah, I used to live out there.
Yeah. That one's the OG one. It's good all around. If you want size, um, if you want size, you got to go to 27th and Y, Holdridge, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want like really good, you got to go to 27th and Randolph. Those are the only three I know too much about. I used to live in the Highlands, but that one's now family owned privately. Yeah. Just it's franchised basically, and they're not open on Sundays, and they close at like 11, and they don't open until like 6 or 8.
You
7.
see the have you seen like the double decker one on 48th?
I have not.
Has a second story. I don't know if someone lives up there, or if there's stuff up there, but yeah, it's like brand new.
No.
By like across from like Hollywood Bowl. Yeah, I've never been to that one either, but I drive by all the time.
I don't know. Well, I know where they get all this money because it's delicious. The Cockies up on North 27th. That's a De Leon's now.
Really?
Yeah. And they might have kept it. They might have kept the bar and made it a cantina too.
Oh,
which would be
sweet. Yeah. That'd be dangerous.
Because Cockies, it used to be Fazoli's, so they had a whole dining room.
Yeah.
And so De Leon's with a dining room and a bar.
Have you been to Cockies?
I was, yeah. I loved it.
I thought it was pretty good too.
Yeah.
I could tell it was kind of like, I don't know, I couldn't have it all the time, I feel like.
Yeah, it was very specific desire. Like Cane's is like I can get Cane's pretty much all the time.
100%.
Cockies was almost too specified.
No, yeah. I've only went there once, but I
thought
it was pretty good.
I don't know what they did to go out of business, but I thought it was good. I just never really saw anybody there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that it's kind of a weird location, but like I feel like they were trying to do too much, like with the bar and everything. Like,
yeah,
no one's gonna randomly go to that's not really next to any other bars and sit in a Cockies and drink.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I think it's a franchise. Like I think there are Cockies like out of state too.
Oh, like global or something?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about global, but country.
Maybe Midwest or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. The last time I looked, but I don't remember.
Huh. Probably. I mean, I never heard of them until they came and put that one there. I didn't know if it was like a startup. They had a good chicken recipe.
Yeah, whatever's in their breading was good. That was in their fries.
The flavor. I think I got the spicy tenders.
Yeah, they went through so many recipe changes though too.
Yeah,
this was wild. No, we have now probably gone through about 50 minutes of just bouncing conversations, and I don't know where we started or where we're gonna end.
Yeah,
so
who knows if people even watch to this point?
You know what? I am one of those crazy people that listens to podcasts on the treadmill.
Yeah,
I don't do it in the gym, but I'll do it on the treadmill because otherwise, like, yeah, listening to music's okay, especially when you're running. But at some point, you listen to the same music while you're running. You listen to the same music all the time.
There's something about this day and age of just like listening to others talk, no matter what it's about. Like, people sit down, they watch a YouTube video, they listen to, while they're eating, or they listen to a podcast while they're driving. Like, people just listen to people just to kind of, I don't know if it's like a way to relate or to kind of like they feel like they're having that conversation or what. But
I'll say I pretty much, so my parents have Netflix. I used to have Hulu tied to my Spotify. Then Spotify figured out that I wasn't a student anymore, so they shut me off and gave me the Spotify Premium.
Did you dirty?
I know, but my fiance her parents have Hulu, so we use that. But those are the only two streaming services I have. Otherwise, it's YouTube.
Yeah.
And so when I get home, too, half the time I'll watch a podcast because I like watching them talk about it and watching how they interact.
Yeah.
More than just listening to it.
What are your like main ones that you watch?
So watch is gonna be Elite FTS. Has called Table Talk. It's just their owner and founder Dave Tate. He was big in the powerlifting world. He went to Westside Barbell. He knew Louis Simmons personally. Big dude, and Elite FTS is one of the leading manufacturers and educators and so much other stuff I don't have to get into. But he has a table talk podcast where he just brings on big name guests. Like he had, um, he had a bunch of like the OG West Side guys on. He had Ed Cohn. Those I hope you guys know who Ed Cohn would be, but he's like the greatest powerlifter of all time.
Uh-huh.
He had him on. He's had like plenty of world record holders on, and so many different like facets. He's had like nutritionists on. He's had people that own their own nutrition supplement companies. Other people that own their own gyms. There's so much variance, and the people that he brings in are guaranteed to be like good guests that know a lot.
Right.
And so I just like it because I can continue the education that I've been building on for so long now.
That's cool.
Another one that I like to listen to, it's just called Let's Get Stupid. It's two other guys in the powerlifting world. Huck Finn, I think his name is Tom Finn technically, but his Instagram handle is Huck Finn Barbell. And the other one is Tom Callis. They just have a podcast called Let's Get Stupid where they just detailed their lives in a very dramatic fashion. And it's so funny because they've been best friends since like high school. But Tom Callis is a lineman, like hardcore blue collar worker, like not straight and narrow by any means, like, but he's a little more like business. He has a couple of his own, and he's more on that side of things. Whereas Huck Finn, yeah, he has a supplement company and an apparel company, which is doing remarkably well. But his whole thing, he's just a freaking idiot. Like he's the type that will. He has a couple YouTube videos posted, and they're always flashbacks back to his more stupid days back when. Before he had his business, had to be a little more professional. Right, but he also built his brand around being stupid. Like he has like 500-pound bench, buck ass naked. He has another like 405-pound bench, like getting fountain to Miller Lite while he's laying there, or getting waterboarded by a Miller Lite. And
that's
like
insane.
It's absolutely wild what he does. And that's not to say that Tom Callis didn't do anything stupid back in his day. So Tom Callis is like a world record squatter in his weight class. Okay. And there was one video, and it circulates every year, of Huck Finn on the leg press, incline benching 315, leg pressing 3 plates, plus Tom Callis on it, squatting 4 plates. All at the same time.
What?
Yeah.
How could you... I can't even imagine.
I would say if I can find the video, we can put it up on the Instagram.
We should. That's insane.
With this clip. It is so funny.
What?
And it's dangerous as hell.
That sounds not even possible is what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, but those guys are fucking ridiculously strong. It's wild because you got to take into account like Huck Finn incline benching 315 while trying to focus on leg pressing.
Right.
While having 3 plates on the leg press plus the weight of Tom plus the weight of 405 on Tom's back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they always have like flashback videos of their old gym. They both train out of their garage now, cool. But of an old gym that they used to go to out before it burned down. Suspiciously bring to them.
Oh.
Out in Illinois where they would just do the stupidest fucking shit. There was one where there was a vending machine out of order, so Huck Finn literally body slammed it, shattered it. It was hilarious.
My God.
Yeah. There's so many videos like that.
Yeah, they get wild.
I know. What rabbit hole did we go down? Where's that? Oh, podcast.
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say.
Oh my lord!
The first one that you mentioned, the dude's name's Dave Tate.
Yeah.
That's just crazy because like Dave Portnoy, and Andrew Tate are like huge names, and like just like both, just Dave Tate. Like that's a good name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are probably the primary two that I listen to. Otherwise, just random YouTube videos about cooking, eating.
Yeah, did I go down a hole in YouTube for hours?
Yeah, training's always
find something interesting.
Yeah, 100%. What podcast do you listen to? Well, I just talked for the last 10 minutes.
Honestly, super random. Like I have, I listen to Impulsive sometimes, which a lot of people don't like Logan Paul, but he's doing insane things. I mean, the fact that he went from being canceled, like literally showed someone.
Y'all see that?
Basically,
myself.
Okay. He like basically showed someone in like the forest who was dead or whatever, and like shouldn't have, and got backlash and got canceled, and came out of that. And I mean, he's doing like I mean, he has Prime, who has like partnership with UFC and the Royal or in the LA Dodgers, and like
Yeah.
just insane. He has the 99 originals, which are all like individual pictures that are
Yeah,
NFTs.
those were pretty cool.
He's got his Impulsive podcast. He's a WWE wrestler. He's got like that Pokemon card. Like he's just like insane. So like him and Mike just have like really good people on there, and sometimes it's just like crazy stuff that's happening in that influencer world, or sometimes it's just like business related. So I just think it's enjoyable to watch. I mean, I go from like something like that to like a just like a Christian podcast becoming something which is really good, or
What's up?
There's a UPS guy here.
Does he need me to sign?
Yeah.
dang it.
You keep talking.
All right.
I gotta go grab a package, I guess.
Gosh, podcasts. Yeah, I mean, I basically the Becoming Something podcast is kind of just like a Christian podcast for anyone, young adults in their 20s to 30s, just giving kind of life advice, which I find very helpful. And they're not like, shoving it in your face about being a Christian or anything. So that's nice. Gosh, what's another podcast? Dave Portnoy's BFF one I started watching, and then it kind of got ridiculous. But there's a ton of podcasts out there, and I don't really know what else to talk about with podcasts, but Cinco de Mayo today, my apartment complex is having a walking taco and margarita night at the clubhouse. So I'm super hyped for that. So I hope that you guys can get a margarita, maybe a Modelo with a lime. Don't drink it too slow, otherwise it's going to be flat. And enjoy your Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, I don't know if I'll keep talking or just waiting for him to come back and edit it. I'll probably edit it, my whole piece of me talking. But what I want to know from you guys from watching this, what kind of content do you guys want to see in the future? Did you enjoy listening to this? I know it was kind of long. Should we make it shorter? Should it be about an hour? Do you guys want to see clips? What kind of guests do you want to see? If you want to be a guest, then DM us.
You want an outro or what?
Well, I was kind of, basically just wrapping it up, telling them to like DM us if they want to be on the podcast or if they have any stuff they want us to talk about, what they enjoyed, and kind of whatever length of podcast, if they want it to be, if this is good or if they want it to be shorter or what.
Honestly, we're probably over an hour at this point. So
Oh,
I think
100%.
it should probably be shorter unless we're... I don't know. There's so many podcasts out there that are actually like super long.
I feel like a good time is like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, I think we expected this one to be like half an hour, and then we just kept talking.
Yeah.
Hope my phone's not dying too bad.
I know, right? We need to plug it in next time we do it.
Yeah.
I think it's good though, because kind of as like a trial, just to see like how we bounce off of each other, and I think that went well.
I did too. I'll say. Plus, it helps my ADHD brain just goes every which way but forward.
hey, you just, like I said, like if you just think of something that I could like, because I think of ideas, but it might take me a little time. But if you just randomly, segue into something, I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah, that's fair. So we want to end it here then. I've been talking for a while.
Yeah, we should probably be done for this first one.
Do you want to have any sort of outro quote, or just say we're done? Say your name and whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm Skylar. Josh.
Daily reminder to do hard things.
What's the name of our podcast?
It's Caffeine, Carbs, and Kilos, unless we get yelled at by Caffeine and Kilos, and we're going to fuck around and find out. See y'all later.